Welcome to another edition of the Yankified Postgame podcast. I am joined by my man, Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
Good, man. What's going on?
What up, what up? I got my man, Aaron Judge here. Yo. And it's myself, Donald from Pinstripe Chronicles, and we are going to get stuck in to a fun game in beautiful Pittsburgh. And looking forward to breaking it down. What is up to the chat? What's up to those that are joining us? Everybody hit the like button. It's now mandatory. When you join on a Saturday post-game show, you got to hit the like button for our channel. Let's face it. We got to we got to get some likes going on here. So hit the like button. I'm really excited to talk some Yanks here with my man Chris and Aaron Judge here. I'm really hitting the fuck out of the ball, aren't I? Yeah, you are, Aaron. Right, so right, let's fucking rock and roll, guys. Fucking happy Saturday. Yanks beat up the Pirates. The Yankees plunder the Jolly Roger, and all's good. So, Chris, give me your thoughts on first of all, tonight's game and then yesterday's game.
Yeah. Hey, listen, tonight's game went probably the way they wanted it to get a win. And I think privately they don't want Stroman to go that many innings for his starts because they don't want to give him the money next year, right? So they want to keep him under 140 innings. So 4 innings is good for them. But
Bro, I don't want him going any more than 4 innings. Did you see what he fucking did today? Jesus Christ.
I know. It's bad. But listen, we should be doing this to Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh is a bad team. You take both teams away from this team, and it's like one step above a AAA team, right? So it's not very good. So we should listen. If we don't sweep tomorrow, it'll be an embarrassment for me, at least.
No, I agree. The Pirates are as bad,
of
an organization as I've seen. I mean, it's so bad that the fans spent the home opener protesting with sell the team and planes flying overhead. So it already sets the tone. So all the Yankees really need to do is just kind of get a nose up, get ahead, and the Pirates are cooked. You know what I'm saying? It's like because they don't want to. They're just totally cooked. I mean, they got an awful lineup, bar a couple of guys. It's a pretty horrible lineup. I mean, look. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about how about Canario with a 0.00 batting average. They've got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing shortstop. I'm sorry, there is not a serious team that would have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa playing shortstop for them. No serious team has IKF playing shortstop for them.
He's a good. I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind having him as a bench guy because he could play.
Not as a starting shortstop.
not starting. No.
Anyway, how about Tommy Pham batting 0.77 with a 315 OPS? This is an awful lineup. I love Brian Reynolds, but baseball doesn't. But baseball doesn't love Brian Reynolds right now because even he is struggling with 179 batting average. But he did hit a home run yesterday, but he's really struggling. The lineup is awful. They don't spend any money at all, and it's a shame, man. So I mean, I know we're going to talk serious Yankees here, but if there's any way that this reaches the ownership of the Pirates, y'all are a disgrace. You got a beautiful city. You got the best ballpark in the majors. You got some passionate fans. You've got frickin' Skeens, who's the best pitcher in baseball, and you haven't decided to put together any kind of a roster around him. You put together a AA roster beside him. I mean, that is a shame. That is shameful. It's a shame to baseball. It's a shame to the city. It's a shame to that stadium. It's a shame to that fan base. And it's a shame to that history of the fan base. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are shameful as an organization, and I've got a soft spot for Pittsburgh. I adore that city. It's a beautiful city. I've got a lot of friends there. In fact, I've got some friends there right now at the Yankee game. So it means a lot to me that I want Pittsburgh to do well. But I'll tell you what, that freaking organization's a joke, and they need to whole ass freaking fire the GM, fire the freaking owners, wholesale freaking changes needed in that organization. And the Yankees have to sweep them. Absolutely have to sweep them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree with everything you're saying. And it's an embarrassment for baseball. Again, this is one of those franchises that's just an embarrassment. Them, the Rays, the A's, right? We could go on and on about these teams. They're just a joke. And it's sad because, you go to the NFL, right? Let's use the NFL. The NFL is like perfect. Everybody, I'm
Yeah.
not saying every team is competitive, but they put a competitive team out there all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And, it's going to bring up, and we're probably going to see it in another year about the salary cap. We're going to hear about it for the next year until um, until this contract is up. So,
Right,
but
Chris. Minimum salary floor, brother.
yeah, has to. But we might see a cap too, which is fine. I really don't care. I know a lot of people are against it. I'm totally for it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, but at least the floor, like you said, the floor has to go in because you got to force these owners to spend more than what they're doing. I mean, these guys are not even spending 100 million on their payroll, which is a joke. It's an
Right.
absolute joke.
No, I mean, if like say the salary cap was, let's say, what the code threshold is, or just slightly under, I'd be
Right.
fine with that
Mhm.
because it still means that the Yankees would still be at the top end, but they have to have a salary floor. Absolutely have to. Myself, Tats, and Rob on our channel have been beating that drum for a long, long time because it is shameful. And you get to the case where there was so many really positive and really good and productive free agents that were waiting unemployed middle of January, late January, into February. I mean, that's a disgrace,
Yeah.
absolute disgrace. And that's because there's only about a third of the majors that actually seriously want to spend any kind of money whatsoever, and that's a problem. With two-thirds of the of baseball would prefer not to have to spend much of anything at all. That's a massive problem, and that's why Manfred is a really horrible commissioner, and they really need to get rid of him when his. Thank God he's going with his contract's up. His contract can't come up soon enough, to be fair.
Yeah, he's the worst commissioner we've had,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, in baseball. It's really
Uh,
bad.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. But yeah, let's get back on the fun stuff because the Yankees put on another show, and the Yankees have been putting on a show to start this year. I mean, Chris and I, we were there. We were talking last week, and we were moderately positive. There was a lot of things to be positive about, and since then, the Yankees have gone from strength to strength. Man, they are looking great. So I'm going to break down some of these numbers from the Yankees lineup from today. Right,
Hmm.
look at these OPSs. I'm just going to go through it, man. So Goldschmidt was leading off. How about 345 batting average and a 941 OPS so far from Goldschmidt?
Crazy.
Crazy. Ben Rice, baby. 320 batting average with an 1,073 OPS. This is mad. I mean, what's the average OPS? It's like 740, 730, something like that,
Something like
right?
that. That sounds about right.
That's about right. So it's in that range. How about 1,073 from Ben Rice? Aaron Judge, he is in a stupendous run right now and mind-boggling. And he could be going after Barry Bonds at this rate, his record. He's batting 364 with a 1447 OPS. 14!
That's crazy.
Jazz Chisholm, how about 960 OPS? Anthony Volpe, where did you come from? Who is this Volpe? Because he is batting 300 with an 1119 OPS after his 3 RBIs today. Austin Wells, who I pick as an all-star this year, is an 833 OPS. Dominguez, who some stupid idiots in the fan base are like, oh, he's not good enough to play left field. We gotta bench him. How about an 833 OPS for 847 OPS for Dominguez and 276 batting average, and even got Peraza here. So glad to see him.
Yeah.
And so far he's got a 1667 OPS and a couple of at bats, and then that leads us last but certainly not least. Grisham, after his 2 homers and 4 ribs today, 471 batting average and a 1630 OPS. those OPSs are absolutely insane. Those are that's like MLB the Show on rookie
Right.
uh, numbers. It's absolutely insane. Take it away, Chris.
Yeah. No, listen, it's early. Listen, it's early in the season, so I'm not getting too crazy. But listen, you want to get on a start like this as a team, so it's awesome. But let's be honest, we're playing Pittsburgh here. This is teams that we should beat up. If we are what we want to, what we want this team to be, we should be beating up on Pittsburgh, right? Arizona, we lost, 2 out of 3 at home. Yeah, those were tough. Um, but yeah, you got to beat up on the bad teams. So it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. You got to beat up on the bad teams. We had to take 2 out of 3 against Arizona. We didn't. It is what it is, right? But these are the games you got to win, got to dominate, get in, get your 3 games, and move on to we got Detroit coming up. I think these next games after this series are going to be more better litmus tests, right? You got Detroit, you got Kansas City, you got better pitching. I'd like to see how this offense goes against those teams, especially in Detroit. It's going to be cold probably.
It's going to be freezing in Detroit.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if we could. Hopefully, we could get those series too. Take 2 out of 3 there.
So, of those names that I mentioned, who has been your biggest surprise so far?
You know what? Actually, Grisham so far, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't think anybody's seen what Grisham is doing in the few games he's played. I'm sorry, that's a huge surprise. Like Volpe starting off great. I don't know if it's a surprise, but it's really good to see that because I'm tired of hearing about him.
Surprise to me, man. Yeah. I mean, this is a guy who's
I know he's saying like
his career OPS. Well, obviously before. I mean, his career OPS is 673. His OPS last year was 657. His on base percentage for his career was just 290. Massively below average. But so far, and obviously it's very early, but to have an 1100 OPS and 300 batting average, and to be among the team leaders in RBI, it's about 12. Freaking 12 from Anthony Volpe, RBI so far. I mean, what is happening? I mean, I know obviously he is benefiting from the bat switch, but I mean, shout out to him, man. He's playing very, very good defense.
Yeah, that we know that's an automatic for him so far that we've seen. But yeah, if his offense could tick up a little bit from what it's been the first couple of years, yeah, that'd be awesome. Jazz has been great. It's more about what are you disappointed in, because everything on the offense so far, you got to say he's looking good. Yeah, Bellinger's been out a couple of games now for his back, but it seems like he's okay. Judge is Judge. We sometimes I guess fans take it for granted, man. But look what we're watching, what this guy is doing, man. For the past, what it's been now, 8 years. The guy is just the best right-handed hitter we've seen, right, in a long time. He's up there. I know when Pujols was, a Cardinal, like let's say before he went to the Angels, yeah, that's as good as you're going to get as a right-hander. So Judge is right there, or even better. Plus, he's a really good glove in right field. So, man, it's so great to see him do this. And we said it last week, I think. He's missing one thing, and hopefully he gets that one thing this year. But Wells is great. It's hard to say which one is surprising. I think just the Grisham, how good he's been in the few games he's hit, is the one that's surprising the most. Volpe starting, yeah, I guess so. I guess we could say that's a little bit of a surprise, but
I'll say, I mean, let's look at, I mean, apart from those metrics and those just the straight up home run RBIs, right? Mm-hmm. Last year, for the entire year, Volpe had 12 home runs, 60 RBIs. Okay, for the entire year, played 160 games. He's played 8 games so far, so we're only about a week into the season. Right. He already has a third of the home runs that he hit the entire year.
That's
just
crazy.
A week into the season. He's already a third of the way there. He's already a fifth of the RBIs. He's got 12 now, a week into the season. So I mean, he's way on the way to surpassing that. At this rate, I mean, he's going to surpass those numbers by the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's probably a conservative estimate at this rate. So I would definitely say that he is the biggest surprise for me, because I didn't have the highest expectations for him, just because from what I was seeing in the first 2 years, I didn't see much of
Right.
a high leverage prospect there. But it's turned. This year 3 is his key year, and he is absolutely balling. So I can't say anything other than really positive things.
What about Ben Rice? Do we put that guy in that too?
But yeah, let's do that. So I just also want to look at Trent Grisham, because you're right. This is a massive size. So how about this? All of last year, he had 9 home runs and 31 ribs. He's already a third of the way there. He's got 3 home runs, and his 7 RBIs is again. So he's is very similar. I mean, he's already surpassed those numbers by the end of June.
Yeah.
It's crazy what's happening here. I mean, yeah, let's talk surprise. Grisham's a surprise. And you're talking Ben Rice. Well, Ben Rice is doing some really special things right now. He's absolutely hitting tanks out there. So last year, obviously rookie year, 171 batting average, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs. He's already got 2 homers.
He's going to pass that.
Yeah, so he's already a third of the way there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Really, absolutely remarkable.
It's great, and the great thing about Rice, right? And he's the biggest beneficiary, if you want to say it, for Stanton being out, right? So now it's like now they can take their time and getting Stanton ready whenever that happens, whether it's next month or June, whoever. But here's the question: like, if he keeps hitting like this, or even remotely close to this, like, how are they going to fit in Stanton? Because Stanton has got one position, right? He could DH. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Not playing the field, so that's out. So at least Rice, you could play him at first base for a game, maybe a week. Catcher, he could probably catch a game or 2 a week, because you want to give Wells, if you want to keep Wells fresh. That's what they're gonna have to do with Rice. They're gonna have to move him, play him at first at least once a week. Play him, a catcher maybe twice a week, and then DH a game or 2 to kind of fit him in, because you can't do anything else with Stanton but DH, and he has to play. You know what I mean? He has to hit. So it's
the silver lining to the cloud is definitely that.
Oh yeah,
that Ben Rice is showing that he's possibly your future DH.
Yeah.
Once they're ready to move on from Stanton. I'm not ready to move on from Stanton. I think Stanton's still got another. I think he's probably got another 2 years in him. But after that, I'm happy to pass the baton to Ben Rice, because he's a massively better all round hitter than he was last year already. He's bulked up
first.
And he can play first base. And I think what the Yankees are going to do once they've moved on from Stanton is I think what they're going to do is they're going to make the DH spot less of a, hard and fast one guy. I think they're going to try and keep it open for the veterans such as Aaron Judge to get off their feet, get the DH at bats there. And Ben Rice will be part of that discussion. He'll also get, backup first base. I would see that. I'm not sure if I see starting first base there. I think it might be like Murakami or a Vlad or something like that. I can see them maybe going with a big name at first. But you could see Ben Rice being a backup first, third choice catcher, plus DH. Yeah, I think that's how they're going to do it. I know it's very early. We're speculating years in advance, but I can definitely see Ben Rice being a big, big, big part of things going forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And listen, it's going to be great. You got Stanton a couple more years. Unfortunately, he's locked in. He's not going anywhere. But yeah, I mean, I would hope that they could sign, one of the guys you're saying, whether it's Vladdy, whether it's Murakami, you got Kyle Tucker. One of these
Tucker.
guys, one of these stars have to come to this team. They have to. They have to get back into the Yankees being the Yankees. We can't lose
the Yankees are being the Yankees in the win column, but we could do with a few more stars. That's for sure.
Absolutely. We definitely need to. We can't keep on losing players to whoever it may be. The Dodgers. Soto is. We knew. Whatever. Soto. Right. He went for the more money, the better perks, whatever you want to call it, whatever. But we can't keep on losing a lot. All these Japanese players, they automatically go to LA. Yankees got to step up. They have to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yes. They lost the Asian market to the Dodgers. And it's pretty rough because back in, say, the 90s and the thousands and even up to about like 5 years ago, Tokyo were wearing Yankee hats. You know what I'm saying? Now Tokyo is universally Dodger hats. You know what I'm saying? Now Japan, that whole market are all watching Dodger games instead of Yankee games. And that's, I mean, obviously you can't do anything about the geographical aspect, but also the Dodgers just win. And it doesn't really matter where you are. Geographically, the Japanese player would like to play for a winning franchise. So that's what the Yankees need to consistently get back to doing. They need to start winning World Series. Let's be fair, but that they definitely need to get a hold of that market. And Murakami would be a pretty good way of going about that, I think. But I mean, obviously, we don't know how he's going to handle Major League pitching, and we're going to need to see how he does this year. But I mean, again, we're speculating again a year in advance. But we've got a pretty fun team as it is, so we should probably try and circle back to this team. But first of all, let's say hello to the chat. We got a pretty good chat going on here, and I want to say a big thank you to everyone who is watching this Saturday evening. We've got Ken. Salute to Ken. Ken's got a cool channel called The Ugly Truth. If you haven't already done so, please do check it out. Ken is a big supporter of us. Jonathan, always here bright and early, but it looks like Ken beat you to it, man. Jonathan, you got beat by Ken Claus by obviously a matter of seconds because you logged in at 6:55. Ken beat you, bro. Jonathan, you're slacking, man. You're slacking. This is 2 weeks in a row. You're slacking. David, we got David in the chat here. Good to see David. What are you doing? How are you doing? We got Grisham is off to a great start. Phenomenal start, Jonathan, man. So good. John the Beagle Dad, exciting game. The Yankees are playing a ton of exciting games. It's been a really fun start to the year. And it's blowing my mind because I had more like moderate expectations with this team this year, and they are surpassing all those expectations. The Volpinator is off to a great start too. Yeah, well said, man. That's a cool nickname too. The Ken going Grish bombs flying this season. He sure is. What else have we got here? Who else have we got in the chat? We got Cold Italian Pizza. Yo, I got Egyptian Magician in there. We got Stevie B. He's got a good point here. Pirates ownership is just as bad as the Cubs. I would argue worse because the Cubs, still want to put together a good roster. I mean, they got Tucker. The Pirates aren't interested in acquiring anybody.
No,
anybody good. I mean, they're right. I mean, how about their closer? Their closer is a Yankee that was DFA'd last year because he had a 6.50 ERA. Santana, right?
It's so bad. The Cubs are almost like I think they're about 200 million.
Right.
For them, right. So it's not hard. Listen, should they be a little bit more because they're a bigger market? Yeah, but 200 million,
absolutely.
You can't complain.
I think the Cubs just lost a lot of people when the owner came out and said something about how hard it is to compete or something like that. He said some weird stuff in the offseason and people went off him because of it. But in general, they spend far more than the Pirates do. And it's not close, as I said.
More than double.
As I said, their closer is Santana, who had a 6.50 ERA with the Yankees last year and then got DFA'd.
And they sent down their closer. Their David Bednar, who was an all-star, but they sent him.
I like Bednar.
Crazy.
A couple of years ago, I was like, I wouldn't hate if the Yankees acquire Bednar.
No.
Now he gets sent down. Brad's got a point here. Players won't agree to a cap, but a floor should have been introduced years ago. You are spitting, my guy. You're spitting. Even the Athletics are spending more than the Pirates. Exactly.
Yeah.
They call my man Sevy, for Christ's sake. John the Beagle Dad salutes us. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. We got Jets mess in the chat. And my man Chris is a Jet fan, so we got a couple of Jet fans now in the chat. Salute. We got Stevie B saying Volpe needs show this consistency. If he does, there could be an extension. No. Wells needs one ASAP.
I would love to see it, but the Yankees are just not a team that does that, though, right? They don't extend guys early. That's what stinks. I would love to see them. Yeah, Volpe, Wells, without a doubt. I would definitely be up for that. Even Dominguez, I would wait on Dominguez a little bit. Give him a few more months. Let him.
Oh yeah. They need to be patient with Dominguez. Donald, you're lagging. Am I lagging, Chris? Am I okay?
Not now. You were before. Second. So
it was only a couple seconds. Okay, it wasn't a big deal.
And Jazz, that's extending.
Jazz, I definitely extend him. Paul Skeens eventually will be a Yankee. I would love that. John the Beagle Dad, you cannot use that name. I am not going to say this name.
Volpino?
You can't have that on the internet. I don't know why that was even trending. That is the worst name. That is the worst nickname. If that was my nickname, I would give up. I would give up.
I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he laughs about it, but I'm sure he's like, I don't like that.
That's a nickname you do not want. His girlfriend's asking, so what's your nickname?
What do you know for?
Let's just move on, right?
Right.
So,
exactly. I don't have one yet.
No, but you're right about the Yankees do not preempt extensions. They don't buy out arbitration. The last time they did that was, they did it with Aaron Hicks, and it was a disaster. Severino.
And that was a disaster, too, because he was hurt.
That was a disaster, too. But at least Severino was actually a good player. Unlike that fraud who I name an award after. That absolute fraud. This dude.
Oh, God. That's like nightmare photos right there. Nightmare. Like, I don't want to see that. Come on.
No one wants to see that.
I think he's still getting paid this year, too, for us, right? I think he's got.
Of course he is.
I think he's got. That's it. After this, I think we're done.
After this year, finally, we don't have to pay any more money to that fraud of a human.
Any other team is dumb enough to sign him, so I think he's out, right? Maybe he'll be on the one of the independent league teams.
That just shows my level of PTSD. That even years past Aaron Hicks being even a Yankee, I'm still bringing him up because that's the stomach problems he caused me, and the agita, and the depression, and the anger, and the laughter.
He killed Sevy, right? He got hurt. Like, he was just injury prone, whatever. Exactly. But Hicks was just bad. Just bad.
Awful. Anyway, let's get back to the fun stuff.
Yeah, let's get to the stuff.
Bringing everybody down, talking about our horrible ex-players. No, but I'm really happy for Severino, and I wish him well, man, because
I always liked him.
I liked him a lot, man. It just didn't quite happen for him, but he's still an absolute G. Unlike, we know who he is. So let's get back to the fun stuff. Let's get back to this game, man. Grisham was awesome. Let's continue the negativity a little bit. Let's talk about Marcus Stroman. That dude is absolute boiled ass on a plate. I mean, how bad is this dude? He is freaking horrible. So far, he's got a 7.60 ERA to start the year.
All right, so let's say he has another another bad start like this, 4 innings, 3 innings, whatever, and Schmidt's coming up, and Warren pitches really good his next outing. What are we doing? Are we like? I mean, they can't DFA Stroman, right? I mean, not this early. At least I don't think so. Well, what do you think? Well, what do you think is going to happen? I'll say it that way. Schmidt comes up. What happens? Warren goes down.
I mean, we have to. I'm thinking about this. Warren's done fine. I don't think they're going to move on from Warren. Carrasco's pitched better than Stroman so far. You're not a fan, Chris, but he actually did pitch better than him.
Yeah, pitched all right.
His stuff looks better. Stroman is just nibbling. I mean, I'll just break it down.
He's got nothing.
Yeah, instead of the histrionics and Mike calling him ass and all that stuff, I'll just break him down in baseball terms. He's nibbling the corners because he's got no velo on his pitches. He doesn't trust any of his pitches.
No.
He's frightened to throw it across the plate. So he's just kind of nibbling in the corners. He is looking dreadful. It could change, but I'm not optimistic. Because he's just carrying on the way that he's pitched the second half of the last couple of years, where he's not painting the corners, he's nibbling because he's afraid. We got Big Blue in the Bronx in the chat. Salute you, my man. How are you? He was actually in PNC today, rooting on the Yankees in PNC. So salute, Alex. Now you obviously saw Stroman in person today. Give me your thoughts.
Not good.
Not good. I can imagine. That dude was just nibbling. It's not fun to watch him. None of his pitches are plus pitches right now. No. He's just getting by just purely on guile right now. And
Stephen B mentioned I think was he the guy? I just seen it. Carrasco might be moved to the long man.
Right.
What if they put Stroman in that position as like the sixth starter in the bullpen, the long guy?
Yeah, but he's never done that. Remember what he did? I remember he kind of pouted at the start of the year going, I'm a starter, bro.
Man, it's going to be ugly. One way or the other. It's either ugly with him pitching still in the rotation, or it's going to get ugly with whatever they do, right? Whether they put him in the bullpen or...
It's just the money that's tied up to this dude. What are we paying him, like 16 mil this year? No one's going to want him. No one. No one's going to want to take on that contract unless we DFA him, unless we release him. And then no one's going to want to take on that contract. It's an ugly, awful contract. And it's one of Cashman's biggest blunders of the last couple of years.
I think he got desperate for a pitcher. What was it, 2 years ago? Yeah,
absolutely. Stroman's a good dude. I like Stroman as a person. Mm-hmm. I like him as a competitor. But as a pitcher, I don't like him. I liked him years ago when he was pitching for the Mets because he still had stuff. But now he just looks cooked. And
that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, he looks cooked in a nice way. And I mean, he couldn't even get through a double-A lineup today. Yeah. You know, he couldn't even go he couldn't even get past 4 innings with a double-A lineup that he was facing.
He's the Pirates. You know, this isn't like one of the better teams in the league. This is one of the worst teams in baseball. And he couldn't get through, well, what did he get through? 4 innings. He couldn't even get a win when his team is up 8-4. Think about it.
Absolutely. Jonathan, who are we getting for Stroman, man? What kind of value does he have? The Yankees tried to trade him this offseason, even before anybody saw that he can't pitch anymore. What they couldn't trade him in the offseason.
Like most of his contract for a trade, if they could get something back. But I don't even think anybody would want him. Like you said, why would you pay this guy to start your team? Like, who's going to...
We tried to flog him off to the Giants, from what I heard, and for a reliever, and it was rejected outright because nobody wants his ass.
Right. Of course.
Last year was defense, and this year is stuff done now. Yeah, Stroman looks cooked, man. Yeah. And we're not. The only concern that I have with with this team, and it's the only concern. I'm really having to pick things, but the only concern I have is we're not getting any length from our starters.
Right.
And going much beyond May, that's not sustainable.
Right.
We're asking far too much out of our bullpen, especially our middle relief, because none of our starters seem to be able to get past 5 innings. Max Fried's our ace, and he didn't even get 6 innings yet, so we need more length.
Yep. I totally.
Now, Max Fried pitched okay yesterday. I thought he was pitched fine.
Yeah.
5 2/3, 1 run.
Not bad. Yeah, no, that's
99 pitches.
Yeah,
against a very weak lineup.
Yeah.
I kind of want him to get 6 innings minimum. Carrasco, he can't give you much more than 5 if you're lucky.
Right.
Stroman, you're lucky to get 4 innings from him. Will Warren, I mean, he's untested, so I don't think he's anybody that you want to go much beyond 5 either. So there's just not much length coming right now. So we're asking a lot from our middle relief, and I'm not sure if that's going to be very sustainable moving forward. So we definitely need Schmidt, because Schmidt can eat. Well, I was going to say he can eat innings, but he's never really been much to go much beyond 6 innings himself. But Luis Gil, right. Luis Gil's really the key.
We need both those guys back. If we get them back, and I think Fried is big too, because he has to be the ace, right? He has to be that guy. He has to be the number one guy without Cole, right?
Yeah.
I think he's the important one. If he becomes that ace and starts giving you length and starts going 6, 7 innings, then I think we're going to be all right. But otherwise,
then we're totally fine. But so far, when no one in your rotation is able to go even 6 innings, it's I would say it's my only concern. And I certainly wasn't a concern I was expecting going into this year, because I was expecting the offense to struggle and the pitching to be absolutely sensational. It's actually been the other way around. The offense has been absolutely sensational, and the pitching has been mediocre. It's not been bad. A couple of arms have been pretty good, but it's been fairly mediocre. But it doesn't really matter when our offense is slugging the way it's slugging. So we've touched a bit on the pitching. Do you have any more thoughts on the pitching and who you want to see step up?
Well, the starters to start with, right? Like you said, we got to get more length. I think that's the big thing. Think about some of these matchups we got coming up, right?
Okay, let's go.
All right, tomorrow we got Warren against Haney. All right, like we said, that's got to be a sweep, right? It's got to be a win. But then after that, we go to Detroit, and then it's Rodon gets the next start. He goes against Mize. Then you got Carrasco against Skubal. Right?
Oh, that's a rough matchup, man.
Yeah, so let's
not in our favor
with our pride, basically. And then after that, you got Fried against Flaherty. I like that.
That'll gonna be a fun one. I like Flaherty. I do like Flaherty. He ain't Fried.
Then we come home to play San Fran, 3-game series. Game 1. It's a big start for Stroman. Stroman against Robbie Ray. I think Stroman's got to step up, because if he has another garbage outing like this, I mean, how many more do you give him? That's going to be big, man.
Yeah. Luckily, he doesn't look like he's going to get that 140 innings. That's the only positive I can make out of Stroman so far. But you're right. You're right. I mean, the litmus test isn't the Pirates. The litmus test is really what's going to happen. See the Royals,
San Fran. I want to see those games. Let's see how our offense is, right? Because Arizona, we lost 2 out of 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How much stock do you put in these torpedo bats? Do you think this is massively overblown, like I do? Who do you think? It's funny how I phrased that and framed that question. Do you think it's overblown, or who do you think has helped the most? Who's benefited the most from the torpedo bat?
I mean, so far it looks like Volpe, right? Right, because we've seen him take off, literally, no pun intended. But we've seen him hit well. But I think by the time the All-Star break comes, I hope we're not talking about the torpedo bats, right? I just hope it's going to be it's going to be just the bats are the bats, right? They were there last year, and what's his name? Stanton hit right with the torpedo bats last year in the playoffs. We didn't hear one thing about it. Not one thing. Nobody said, "Hey, what kind of bat is he using?" Nobody cared. But now all of a sudden, right, the Yankees have the big, opening series, and it's like, oh, it's because of those torpedo bats. Meanwhile, Judge is not using them, obviously, right? So I think, but listen, I think by the time the All-Star break, I'm actually hoping, but I think so. By the All-Star break, we're not going to hear about it anymore. Volpe, obviously Volpe's not going to keep up this, the way he's hitting the home runs now. I think he's going to come down to earth, right? Let's just hope he gets consistency. Just get on base, right? Get that on base percentage up a little bit. That's all you want to see him, right? He's your bottom of the batting order, 7, 8, 9 batter. Just get on base. That's all we need you. Get the occasional hit, home run. Yeah, gets 20 plus home runs. That'd be great. But that's my feeling. I don't think it's nothing. Pitchers are gonna start to strategize against them. They're gonna make their adjustments. The batters are gonna make their adjustments. It's gonna be like a regular thing, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and let's be fair. I mean, most of the league are going to be crawling all over themselves to get a hold of these bats, because I think it was actually really smart from our analytics team to find a way to counteract the fact that pitching has been really dominant over the last couple of years, and that was one thing that, from what we learned, is that from Jeff Passan, was that the Yankee analyst went to Giancarlo Stanton going, there's a problem here. Pitching is so dominant. Offense around the league is absolutely, rock bottom. What can we do to help you guys, and to increase it? And he, the consensus was to have the barrel of the bat slightly larger than before, but it's the same weight. It's just distributed it differently. Right. That's all it is. And it's pretty routine, and it's definitely helped Stanton, but it definitely helped Volpe in one of his home runs where he had an expected batting average of 0.65.
Right.
And it went out of the ballpark. Down the right field, in at the right field seats in Yankee Stadium. That was like one blatant, that was definitely a torpedo bat shot, because it kind of hit off the end of the bat at an expected batting average of 0.65. So, and that somehow made it over the wall. So, okay, that. It's helped Jazz a little bit, because there's been times where he's hit it off the end of the bat and it's gone straight to the wall for a double. So there's been a couple of occasions, but by and large, I think it's overblown. But it's great and it's welcome, because these games are fun now. Yeah. I like offense. I'm rooting for offense. I like offense, man. I like hitting the crap out of the ball. And the bat is not even like cheating. It's perfectly regulated. It's absolutely fair. It's just that the barrel of the bat is slightly bigger than before. That's it.
Yeah. I've seen some people mentioning, is the ball juiced? Do you think the ball is juiced?
I don't know about that. I haven't seen it. Or do you have who did you find that out from?
You know what? What's his name? Is it Jeff Fry?
Okay.
Former major leaguer.
All right.
I'll bring it up for you.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Was that a tweet?
Yeah, he mentioned it.
Do you want to share it on the screen, and we can bring it up?
I'll bring it right up. Or if you catch it first, but I'll find it.
That is interesting.
Jeff Fry, or is it?
Because I have seen some big scores this year, just around the league in general. I mean, I watched the Red Sox Cardinals game, and it finished like 13-9, and the last out was a bases loaded out by the Cardinals, so it could have been they could have even tied the game at 13. So there's been a lot of offense so far, around the league in general, and the Yankees are just hitting the absolute piss out of the ball.
All right, how do I do this? Oh,
While we do that, we'll just have a look and see what else we got in the chat. Regil the Great, we need more length. That's what she said. There we go. Office quote there, my man. Stevie B says, free pitched fine. He built on it. Still getting used to the AL pitching. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not criticizing Freed. He pitched well. It's just obviously want a little bit more length and maybe get that pitch count down, especially against such a dreadful lineup like the Pirates. It's such a bad lineup.
All right, here. Right, this should come up.
Regil, absolutely, man. I remember 6 weeks ago I was concerned about the bats not being alive and the pitching was the strength. Yeah, it's now the opposite. We got here, and that's it. So, at what, Shigon 03? I love Pete Alonso when he's a strong dude, but these MLB baseballs are like Super Balls. Just listen to what the announcers say. This is 100% Rob Manfred's doing. Pete might be the first non-HLP guy to hit a home run in Major League history. Wow. Okay, that's an interesting take.
He's a former major leaguer.
I wouldn't put anything past Rob Manfred.
Right.
I would not put anything past him. But I don't hate it this occasion because I think the league needed some offense.
Yep. It happened. What year was it? The 2020 season?
When they had the juice balls, wasn't it the year when the Yankees were playing? Because that was like the first year of the Pinstripe Chronicles, and the Yankees had the Field of Dreams game with Kevin Costner.
Right.
Remember that? And
God, that game.
Oh. And that game was like the home run derby, and everything was going into the cornfields. Everything. Pop-ups were going like in the cornfields for home runs. What's that?
2022 was
wasn't it
21 maybe? It was after COVID, wasn't it?
I think it was 21.
21, okay. I know it was after COVID. I remember that.
Yes. That's what I recall. It was a weird game. Andrew Heaney gave up like 6,000 home runs in that game. But the Yankees still had the lead going in the ninth inning. Remember, and Stanton hit that home run, Judge hit the home run, and then lost on a walk-off. That was a crazy, but those were juice balls back then, for sure, that year.
Yeah. So at least for that game.
Yeah.
We can say at least for that game.
Sure. We need a bigger sample size, though. So, I mean, I'm not going to pass aspersions just yet, but so far, offense is up around the league. I would be interested to see what the numbers are league-wide, but it looks significant. The scores are definitely up, and good. It makes things more fun. I mean, the Yankees are a hell of a lot of fun right now to watch.
Oh, yeah. I'll take this any day right now.
I'll take this every day, man. So let's talk a little bit about the offense again to finish off, because it's really the story so far. It's been absolutely incredible. Jazz Chisholm, I would seriously consider extending him either by the All-Star break or the end of the year. I think he's someone that you would want to consider having long-term. He plays an incredible second base. He looks like a 40-40 guy. So that's someone, if you guys are wanting extension talk, that's someone I would certainly consider because he looks like he's elite as a Yankee.
He's right in his prime, right? What is he, 27, 28 now?
Yeah, he's right in his prime, man. He's got 2 more years of control.
Next,
is it next year is his last year of control? Am I right about that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Remarkable numbers, and he's just been brilliant. Let's see what kind of he's only 27, man. So he's only just approaching his prime, and he already has 4 homers.
He's only making $5.8 million.
Absolute steal. That's someone that the Yankees should be locking down long term. I want this guy to be our long term second baseman. He just seems to fit, and he's got a perfect swing for the porch.
5 years, 100 million, maybe. I don't know, maybe more.
I don't really know about because contracts are so insane these days.
I know,
it's hard to have a problem. Yeah. But maybe something in the 18 to 20 million range, if you get something like that, that would be per year. You would maybe do that. That would be what, 3 times what he's getting paid now. Maybe he can make that work. I don't know, but they should definitely try and sit down with this guy because I think that's someone you want to be here long term. As I say, he's got a perfect swing and he's athletic and he's a lot of fun to watch. And I think he's just kind of perfect for Yankee Stadium. So that's one person that has just been so positive. And let's talk about the captain here. Aaron Judge is obviously on some kind of a crazy trajectory right now. I mean, dare we say? I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to hit 60 this year? Heck, could he hit 70?
Oh, that's going to be the bigger question, right? Because I mean, look what he did last year, and look what. Remember, he started off really bad, and they keep reminding us too. So, yeah, if he's starting off this good, this is unbelievable, right? I mean, you said 60. I'm thinking maybe 70, right? 70 is not going to be out of the question.
Not at all. How about
Right?
6 home runs and 17 RBIs already this year? We are a week into the season.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
There's still 6 months to go. What's he going to do in 6 months?
Yeah. You know what? With him, like, you just don't know because he's that good, right? And we've seen him when he gets on a roll, I mean, he just hits them in bunches. I don't know, man. This might be one of those seasons where we're going to look back like we did when he hit 62. It looks like he's going to hit that again. You know, if he doesn't hit 60 this year, I think I'll be disappointed.
Do we take him for granted a little bit?
We do. Absolutely, we do. There's no doubt. Because we're seeing history when this guy's playing. We're seeing a Hall of Famer. We're seeing a literal first ballot Hall of Famer. And we have to appreciate it, man, because he's on our team. And again, he's missing one thing from his resume, and he's got to get it.
It's the playoffs. He needs to lead the team in the playoffs. He can't rely on other people to support him, and that's been the story of his career in the playoffs. And that might be why he gets taken for granted a little bit. But the regular season is just stupid. There's no words. His regular seasons are just stupid. If you pitch to him, it's a home run. I have never seen anything like it apart from Barry Bonds in my life. If you ever put anything even remotely near his wheelhouse is gone.
Right.
It's just remarkable. So if he stays healthy, moderately healthy this year, there's going to be more home run freaking. What can you say? I mean, more home run records getting broken.
Right.
If they pitch to him, and so far they're pitching to him, and he's hitting. So
as long as the other guys hitting behind him keep hitting, they pitch to him, right? Because like you keep walking him, and if Bellinger or Jazz or whoever, Wells, Rice, if they hit, they're gonna have to eventually pitch to him, and so far they have been, right? I still would not pitch to him. Like when
I think you're crazy to pitch to him.
When
you'd have to be crazy to pitch to this guy because if you do, it's gone, and it's not even a question anymore. I mean, his numbers are just stupid. I mean, you even add the year where he broke his toe. I mean, he would have not even a question hit 50 home runs that year as well had he not broken his toe. Or heck, even if he'd broken his toe but came back like a couple weeks earlier, you know what I'm saying? He would have still put up a crazy number of home runs. That's how good he was that year. Then you have the 62 as well. Last year was a crazy year, 57, 58. And this year, the sky's the limit. And I do want to touch on something which is kind of cool. He's getting a little bit of help from a lot of different areas now. It was only Soto and Stanton last year. Right. That was it. Those were the only league average hitters that we had last year, apart from Judge. This year, 1 through 9, everybody's contributing. There's no one that is sitting on the sidelines, and that's such a great start. And that's something that I did not see with this lineup. 1 through 9, we're getting productivity, man. We're getting Goldschmidt looks fab. He looks back to the Paul Goldschmidt that we all love, back in his prime. Bellinger has been hurt the last couple of games. No problem. Gresham's come in. He's been better.
Right.
That's insane because Bellinger was great to start his first series. But Grisham's been even better off the bench. So that's remarkable.
Nice.
So we're getting that. Got Ben Rice. He looks ridiculous. He looks like a tank.
Yeah.
Jazz Chisholm, we've talked about. Austin Wells, we've talked about. I think he's going to be an all-star this year. Volpe is just he's already a third of the way to his season last year, and we're a week into the year. That's how good he's been so far. Oswaldo Cabrera, he contributed yesterday, and he's been playing very good defense. Peraza has looked good whenever the Yankees decide to play him, which is almost never. And Dominguez looks really good too. I don't know why there's some aspects of the fan base that have been so critical of him. He looks really good. He's so much better at left than he was in spring training. And offensively, he's got like an 800 plus OPS so far. So there's really nothing to complain about. Every single member of this lineup, including the bench, has been contributing.
Yeah. The only one you can't say is like Reyes.
Because he's a clown, and he's an absolute clown. And
he should not.
We should put a clown nose on him and clown shoes, and then send him on his merry way to clown school. He is not a baseball player, but apart from him, everyone else has been fantastic. And I did you see that with this lineup?
No, not this much. But I listen. I thought it would hit. I'll be honest. I like the team, but I mean, yeah, right now that they're just on a roll. And the good part is, like I said, what we're seeing now with Rice taking this opportunity with all these at bats because of Stanton being out. I mean, he's just running with it, right? And what it's doing is you kind of mentioned it before. It's opening that DH spot for more players. Even if you could even put Rice at first base so he could stay in the lineup. Give Goldschmidt that day off, and then put Judge as your DH, and give him that half a day off. I think that's the best thing too, because now you could kind of rotate these guys and keep everybody fresh all year, right? Like, and think about it. Now, Judge playing right field, he's not running around in center field every game like he would have been. Think about it. If we signed Soto, Judge would have been our center fielder running around like a madman out there. Okay. Now he's in right field. So now you got to expect, you could see him, and we just talked about it. This guy could hit 60, 70 this year.
And, he will.
Right? And that has been the good part of losing a guy like Soto, because if Soto's here, he'd have to play right field, right? Without a doubt, because he hates DHing, so he'd have to play right. So if he's right, Judge is going to be in center field. And I think this is so much better because it makes the team better defensively, offensively. It's going to keep these guys fresh, right? Because now you could sit Judge if you want, or DH him. And with Stanton now, like I said, this team right now is so good, right?
And it is. And it's exciting. It's fun to watch. Their at-bats are great. Yeah. And the key to Aaron Judge continuing to break home run records, it's getting people on base. As long as there's people on base, then they cannot pitch around them.
Yep. Exactly.
And if they do, they're gonna pay, because we've gotten production right through the lineup. And that's what's changed. That's what's different. The general consensus was this offseason was that, all right, the Yankees lost like the top half a little bit, the top half of talent with Soto, but it's now deeper. And it's so far so good. A week into the year, they are deeper. And I cannot believe, because I'm like Soto's biggest fan, I cannot believe that this offense is so good that I've kind of forgotten that 2 weeks ago I was really upset about this Soto situation still. And now I'm not really thought about him. I haven't. I wish him well. I'm certainly not going to be a fan that's going to be chanting F Juan Soto, because he carried my team to a World Series for the first time since 2009. I'm not going to be chanting that shit. I think it's stupid. If you want to do it at the Yankee Met game, okay, have at it. But the rest of the season, shut up.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't
No,
care.
I don't want to hear it either. So, but I mean, I can't believe that I'm not even thinking about him because I was pretty convinced that this whole year I was going to be like, I really wish we had Juan Soto. But 1-9, this team looks great without him. They're hitting the piss out of the ball.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's early, like I said, it's early.
It is early. But I want to emphasize it because it's definitely exciting, and I didn't see it. And I love to be proven wrong. And I'm kind of excited about the trajectory that this team might be better than anticipated. But they do need to tidy up a few things, like their starting pitching needs a little bit more length. But I think it'll get better with Clark Schmidt and Luis Gil. Please get Luis Gil back. If we get Luis Gil back, then they get a bit more swing and miss stuff in their starting rotation, and he should be able to give you some length. And then this team looks pretty good. And the great news about this lineup, because it will even out, and there's going to be a stretch where they're not going to hit, right?
Of course.
But the good news is we already have seen that they can hit. We can see that these guys are capable 1-9 of contributing. So even in a cold stretch, you can say, well, long view, these guys are going to turn around because we've seen it. We've now got it. We've got evidence of it, and that's a great sign. So keep it up. Chris, give me your final thoughts of today's game, and shout out your channels, my guy.
Thanks, man. Thank you again for the invite. I appreciate it. My channels, just look me up, Twitter at CP7NY. Look out for the podcast at NYMLB Talk once a week at least. We're out there, so check us out. We're on all the platforms, and also the football one, the Jets Lift Off, a Jets Football Podcast. We're out there too, so look us up there as well. But with the Yankees, yeah, listen, it's Pittsburgh. We got a sweep tomorrow. Should be no excuses. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what lineup they put out there. It's got to be a sweep against this dreadful team. And then, the next couple of series I think we're going to see, it's going to be a good test, right? Detroit, because Scooble's going to be pitching. Flaherty's going to be pitching. So I'm curious to see how the offense does against them. And I think, listen, we talked about Fried earlier. I think he's going to get better. Someone in the chat said too, like, he's got to get used to pitching in the American League. He's got a different catcher, right? So he's bound to get better. So I'm really not worried about him.
And to be honest, he pitched well yesterday.
He wasn't awful, to me, I'm concerned about the other guys.
Yes,
the other
absolutely.
Guys, I'm concerned about.
No question about it. Although Rodon, he struggled in his second start, but he was so good in his first start. Yeah. I think that's who Rodon is. I think 6 out of 10 starts, he's going to look like a world beater, and then the 4 out of 10, he's going to really struggle, and that's just kind of who he is now. I think.
Yeah, give us another year like he did last year, right? 16 wins, I'll take it. He had a couple of really bad starts, but you know what? For the most part, he was a solid starter. That's what we need. A good number.
Just need a little more consistent. The thing with him is home runs. Yeah. Try and keep some of these, because he mows them down, then he gives up stupid home runs. Like, if he can keep them in the park, then he's going to be a really good number 2 starter.
I'm looking forward to the team in another month or two. Like, if everybody stays healthy and we get Schmidt back, we get Weiser back, we get Stanton back, all these guys, I can't wait to see what this team is going to look like with these guys coming back. Like how they configure the rotation. What are they going to do with Stroman? Stanton in another month or so. What's going to happen there? Like, how many games is he going to play? Rice, is he going to continue to hit? Like, we're assuming Rice has turned the corner and he's going to be fine. Like, okay, if he starts to go downward when Stanton is coming up, then it's going to be an easy decision. But I really hope he makes that decision hard, man, with Stanton coming back. Like, all right, we got to keep this guy in the lineup. We got to do whatever we can to keep Rice in the lineup. I want that to be a problem.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully the Yankees do the business against the Pirates and again continue to plunder the Jolly Roger and put up another crooked score. That'll be fun. But yeah, the litmus test is this week ahead, and next Saturday we'll face the Giants, and I'll have another post-game show then. So Chris, you're welcome to join us. next Saturday after the with another post-game show edition of the Yankified podcast. And I do want to thank everyone that's joined me. And Chris, please hit the like button. Please follow Chris on X and his channels. Let's go Yankees, says Rajil. And that's a pretty good way of finishing it off. Let's go Yankees. Preach, Aaron Judge. Let's go.